Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the match preview. Queen's Park Rangers versus Everton in the Carabao Cup. Very, very tricky tie, this one, certainly with Everton's injury situation at the moment. And just because Loftus Road always
horrible.
Little matchbox
It's boss
ground.
It's boss, but for us, it's horrible.
Yeah, little matchbox ground that we've never really done well at. Even when we played Fulham, there we got beat.
Yeah, I went there. We played Fulham once. We got beat 2-0 with 2 own goals. Richard Wright, I think, might have actually got both of them. Alan Stubbs and Richard Wright got beat 2-0.
Although I think,
and we were flying.
I think the last time we played there, though, we did win 2-1.
Seamus Coleman and
Aaron
Lennon beat them 2-1. Coleman side-footed off the post, lovely goal. And Azza scored, yeah.
So it is a tricky game. Just in terms of, it's going to be very interesting to see who we pick for this game with the amount of injuries. You know, just couple of days off the back of playing Aston Villa, and playing Norwich at the weekend. It's going to be interesting.
It is. It's a tough one, isn't it? Because you look at it, and it'll be a tough game anyway. They're a decent little side, QPR. Will they go full strength themselves? Obviously, they're looking at trying to get promoted this season, so you wonder. They played a lot of games. They played literally every Saturday, like midweek. They played last Tuesday to Bournemouth, lost 2-1. They were beaten at home on Saturday by Bristol City 2-1, late winner. From Nahi Wells, who used to play for them. And so for them, will they go full strength or will they mix it as well? But for Everton, it's a definite banana skin, no question about it, given the position we're in. Yeah. Because ideally in this game, Rondon would have started this one and people like that. But now you're looking and thinking, we can't afford Rondon to play, really. We need to give him a blow after Saturday because we've got Norwich on this Saturday and we know that Dom and Richarlison are both out at the weekend. So we need to keep Rondon. So the manager's going to have to be a bit creative, I think. But I think when you look at what the team he could put out, he could still play like, Begovic. He could have a back four of like John Joe Kenny, Mason Holgate, Michael Keane, just in case. Jared Branthwaite could play left back, really left-footed, could play there, and then midfield, Gomez and Davies both need games. They could play. Iwobi could play, and then it's trickier then. But I imagine Anthony Gordon could have could play on one flank, and then maybe you'd do like 60 minutes for Townsend and then 30 for Gray or something. And you'd have, I personally would, even though he's only just come back, I think I would play Ellis Sims up front and then have Lewis Dobbin on the bench. And maybe take Sims off after an hour and put Dobbin on. I know I'm not saying they're ready for the first team, but I think it is about protecting the players that we're going to need for Saturday, definitely. And, Rondon will be key at the weekend. Decore and Allen will be key at the weekend. I think Mina and Godfrey are key at the weekend. So I will protect them. And you're looking at me a bit like,
these games, I'm just thinking about these games. These games always seem to come the wrong time. They've always seemed to come in the wrong time for us. I don't know why, but these like third and fourth round games.
I think last year though was fine.
No, I know, but last year it worked because they
didn't have injuries.
They were all the first few weeks, and it worked really well.
Didn't have any injuries,
and it was the games actually got tougher as the groups went, as the stage went. It was weird, but I just think this year it's just a very tricky one. Played Saturday tea time, playing on a Tuesday night. It's just so tricky to get not only the recovery of the players, but because we're short in so many positions, and then you're looking at thinking, well, there's some positions where we're not going to get back straight away. Right back, forward. So midfield, we should, have enough in there, have enough cover. And maybe it is about time that we started bedding players in these. But people look at this competition as a competition we should be doing better in. I mean, the irony is Man City win it every year. So it doesn't matter. We shouldn't, people go, I should do better. This is a real chance, but Man City win it every year anyway.
I mean, we've got to the quarters in the last 2 seasons. Lost on penalties to Leicester, and we were beaten by United last season. So we have took it
No, I don't
People
think
go, oh, we need to take this cup seriously. I think we have took
I
it
think we
seriously.
do. I think it's just sometimes I think it's just a real banana.
What would you do with Ellis Sims? He's only just come back himself, right? Obviously, he's been training to get back with the first team. He's trained with the first team. He's on the bench at the weekend. But for me, it makes no sense not to play him. I'm not saying he's ready, and I'm not saying he's going to be amazing, right? But he's a big lad for a start. He's a goal scorer. He's got 10 goals in half a season in League One. And I know it's not the same level, right? But Championship's one up. But
I think
Rondon, we can't afford to play him.
I think the irony is, I think Ellis Sims would be playing Championship football this season if he'd stayed fit at the end of the season.
Had he not got injured, yeah.
So there is that. I think he would be playing Championship football for Blackpool this season, on loan. So we haven't, you can say, well, that, but it's just, I think it's just because he's only just come back. Of course, he was on the bench, and you've got to try things and see what happens. I think there's enough in the midfield to get away with a willing runner up front, and hopefully he takes his chance. We've seen other people take their chances in this competition when they bring young players in.
Anthony Gordon played in the Championship last season, albeit not loads, but he played for Preston. Jared Brantway played in the Championship for Blackburn.
I think sometimes,
done it.
I think sometimes you have just got to take a chance, and if it's for the best of the team and players, because I mean, people probably sitting here going, "Well, you play Rondon," but I don't know whether Rondon's had enough time to recover from playing an hour. That'll be a big shock to him. System playing an hour, and I don't know whether his powers of recovery are going to be enough. Because this is the thing: as you get older, it's not always how you play in the game; it's how you recover from a game, whether you're going to be ready for the next one.
I imagine he's stiffer today than he was yesterday.
Exactly.
And then tomorrow he'll start to recover again.
Exactly, and you're asking him to do that and play, and then
I think I was saying, no, just play him an hour, he'll be all right for an hour. But the more I think about it, I think maybe have him on the bench for if you need to for 20 minutes from the end or something.
And this
is ideally, you've got to look at Saturday.
And this is the problem. This is why he would have been taken off at an hour on Saturday, so that he didn't get an injury that would mean that he'd be missing next Saturday. That's the problems with having a smaller squad.
When they get tired, that's when you
have to start protecting them when they get to the red line. And but I do think we've got enough defenders, and I do think we've got enough good midfielders that we can, put a team out. And yeah, it's just that play, just that up front. But I do think, like you were saying then, with a mixture of how you use some of the subs by having a Gray on the bench, bringing him on for like the last maybe 20 minutes if you need them. It's it is a real banana. And like you said there as well, do QPR think these are going to put out a really weakened team? If we put our best team out, we could beat these. Or they go, you know what, they're putting a weakened team out, we might as well put a weakened team out and just see what happens. Because actually,
they know they're not going to win it.
Yeah.
They know, whatever, they could get injuries they don't need when they're doing all right. It's difficult to see what they'll do, but like when we played Huddersfield in the last round, they didn't play their full team either. They had a couple of lads who come on who were in their first team when they thought they could win it, and ironically, that actually was the moment Everton took the game away from them. But for this one, we just got to worry about ourselves. If you're looking at, if you're in that Everton squad and you're Tom Davies and you're Mason Holgate, you're John Joe Kenny, you're Anthony Gordon, and you're Ellis Sims, you're going to the manager, give me a go.
And they've all had games.
They've had games. Sims hasn't, but the others have. You're going, well, give me a go. I'm going to prove to you that I deserve a place in this. I'm up against Championship players. So therefore, they're Premier League footballers, and if they really are genuinely Premier League footballers, they'll shine because they'll battle. They'll have to battle and scrap. But QPR, we'll just have a look at what they normally line up with. 3 at the back. They never have tried the 3 at the back, and I just wonder, in this one, if he would go. We started with 3 against Huddersfield in the last round, and it didn't really work.
The big worry is it's the worry for the game anyway. It's who plays left back or
left wing back, isn't it? But to me, for this one, I would have Jared Brantwaite at left back. I'd just go with I personally, even though they play the 3 and the 2 strikers up front, I personally would just go with a flat back 4. Just because I feel like when you have a flat back 4, everyone kind of knows where they're supposed to be playing. You know what I mean? It doesn't overcomplicate it. Be solid then. be nice and solid, and then hopefully you rely on maybe Anthony Gordon doing something, or a good little bit of movement, Alex Iwobi creating something, whatever. And I actually think with Ellis Sims, what he's done is he's put the ball in the net regularly at the levels he's played at, and that's all he can be judged. I'm not saying he's going to be a Premier League centre-forward, because I really don't know. But what I'm saying is he was scored loads of goals at under-18 level, tons. We said, can he do it in the 23s?
Yeah.
He went into the 23s, scored loads of goals in the 23s, and he went to Blackpool on loan from January, and it was like, he's in league football now, can he do it? He got double figures from January and he only really started games in February, March, and he would have played in the playoff final, and he got injured the day before.
Yeah.
And he's only just come back. So all that, if you're Ellis Sims, you'd be like, well, every level I've played at, I've scored goals. So why not just give me a go? In a like you said before, in a league he'd have probably been playing. If he'd have been fit, he'd have probably been playing in the championship anyway. Give him a little go. He's playing with better quality than what he's been. Who's to say Alex Iwobi can't create a little chance for him, and he takes it? And what you're doing then is you're allowing Rondon that time to recover. And then by having a Lewis Dobbin on the bench, who again is another young kid, and again it's a big ask for him. But by having him on the bench, if Sims starts looking knackered after an hour, 65 minutes, you say to Dobbin, right, go on, just make a nuisance of yourself. Because then what you're doing to them lads is you're giving them that little thing of, look, there's your progression path. If you get your head down and work hard, you played in our first team. I'd also, by the way, take like Emilio Lawrence with it, who's like 15, 16, just bring him on in the 93rd minute. So he's the youngest player ever to play for our football club. So that it takes someone else who's got off record away from them. That's the level of pettiness that I can get behind if Rafa does that. But no, I think you have to do it, Ped. I think you'd have to do it. I think it's not something he probably would want to do. And I understand some fans would be like, no, play your full strength team. But I just don't think we could. We've got no Richarlison and no Dom until after the international break, that's for sure. We can't add Rondon to that as well, so we've got to keep that momentum going for Saturday by having him fresh. It's going to be hard anyway for him, because he isn't up to speed, and he'll only get up to speed by playing games. So for me, it has to be a mix, and it has to be lads who've got something to prove. And if those lads have got something to prove, then we'll give QPR a right good go, and we can win that game. Of course we can.
Yeah, I think it's.
But what would you do? What would you do with that? With what's left of that squad?
Probably just play pretty much the team that played against Huddersfield, and then maybe Sims up front. But yeah,
because we haven't got any options.
I'd probably have Rondon on the bench. But I think pretty much the team that played against Huddersfield is now they've all played games of football this season. I think that helps as well. And if you think about what that team was, you could get away with that team, I think.
Yeah, we have Moise Keane, so he's swapping him out for Ellis Sims. Yeah. But other than that, yeah, Townsend played.
I think Townsend played, maybe you swap him
for... Iwobi played.
Maybe you swap him for like an Anthony Gordon.
Gabaman.
Well, yeah.
He had a slight strain at the weekend. I don't know whether he's going to be back. This would have been perfect for him to play in this game. Hopefully he's back, but I'm not convinced.
Yeah. Hopefully. Would have been nice if the club would give us an update on these players. But, they haven't, and so we can't really say. But, no, just I think you can pretty much put the team up that we put out against
Huddersfield, yeah.
Huddersfield. Whether... I think, do you know what? I don't think it'd be a terrible thing for Ben Godfrey to start this game at centre-back.
Yeah.
I don't think it would be. I think he needs games. I think he really does.
Godfrey and Holgate.
I think he does need games. Maybe them two and Branthwaite as a 3, maybe, or just those two and Branthwaite.
The left side, isn't it?
I just think he needs to start playing games. So it wouldn't be a terrible thing for him to start this game, either. Leave Mina and leave Keane out, and that's not a terrible. It's not a terrible start, is it, John Joe? As I said, the likes of Tom Davis, Andre Gomez, Iwobi.
A decent 3
in midfield. It's not terrible, is it?
No.
And then you're banking on then
you've got Anthony Gordon. If you've got Ellis Sims, then you'll need one more, won't you, on the right?
Could be Townsend.
I'd play Townsend for an hour personally. He's a fit lad, works hard, gets up and down.
Or you never know. The wild card could be back.
Oh, stop it. He is not ready to play games either.
Okay.
Oh, hell, I'll shank it. Maybe he's on the bench. You
No,
know.
I don't think he's ready at the moment.
But it has got to be a bit of a mix. We can win the game, definitely. Be a tough game. Big ask, I suppose, given how many players we've got out.
It'd just be nice to, you know, after losing that first game, it'd just be nice to win it. And then go, well, we lost that, we're back at it, and now it's Norwich. You don't want to go into the Norwich game being like, oh, they've lost the last two, and because you know what, you just don't want that. Just don't want that.
No, fingers
Back
crossed.
to winning ways, hopefully. Let us know your thoughts in the comments anyway on this one. Are you confident? Who would you play? Who would you risk? Who would you not risk? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Make sure to give this video a like, subscribe if you haven't already. If you want more great videos, live videos, daily, join us over on Patreon. The link is in the description and it's on the screen right now. See you later.